Welcome to the Healthy and Wealthy and Wise podcast with global sales trainer and professional speaker Lois Coffey. Each week, it is her goal to share inspiration and education for you to have the best health and wealth and wisdom for your life.
All right, guys, happy Friday. Oh my gosh, it's been a week. I've seen so many of you celebrating. As you can see my background here, I'm still celebrating my second year podcast anniversary. And if you are just new to my community, Healthy and Wealthy and Wise, I want to welcome you. We are interviewing people regularly, as well as my monologue episodes, and helping you define and discover your best health, your best wealth, and your best wisdom. So if you're tuning in inside of one of my groups or on LinkedIn, YouTube, I just want to welcome you. And remember, comment below, #live, where you're tuning in from, with your city, state, your name perhaps as well, so we can acknowledge you out throughout the show. And I'm really excited because today we have a guest with a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. Today we're going to talk about grief and how it can impact your health, your wealth, and your wisdom. So I do want to let you guys know about that topic. So if you see value, sharing is caring, please hit the share button because you probably know someone who's been impacted by grief, right? In the past 2 years, especially through so much loss. And grief isn't just about death. We're going to talk about that today with our guests. So again, if you're just tuning in, comment below, #live, and hit the share button. I'm super excited to have you here, Grace. Grace is a friend that I met a few years ago. We're both here in Southern California. She's a certified clinical aromatherapist and face reflexologist. Now here's a big one. This is a lot. She's been through quite a bit. She lost both her husband and her daughter last September. And she realized through that process, she couldn't let her grief bury her, and it pushed her forward. And so much so that she dug deep. She found her skills, her own skills as a reflexologist and aromatherapist to restore and heal herself inside, which is very interesting. So I can't wait to hear more about that, Grace. And she's regained her confidence in how she looks and feels, which we know impacts your health, your wealth, and your wisdom. Thank you so much for being here today, Grace, and sharing such a powerful story. I'd love for you to share with us a little bit more.
Thank you for having me. I've known you for forever, and it was a blessing then, and it's a blessing now that we got reconnected. Thank you. So, as you were saying, grief can really get you. Grief can really bury you. Losing my husband and my daughter 4 days apart. It wasn't. I'm sorry. It still hurts because they were a huge part of my life. But just as a reminder, grief isn't only about the loss of a loved one. Grief is divorce, loss of relationship with people you love, loss of stability, loss of a business, and it can really impact you in the way that you don't even realize. And it because it hurts you internally. The destruction of how you feel inside your heart, your guts. I mean, it's really destructive. I mean, I don't really know how else to describe it, but unless you look to something more powerful than yourself, which in me, it was my spiritual foundation. I was blessed to have a strong foundation in my faith, that I believed in God. I had all kinds of experiences behind me where God was present in my life. And so I grabbed this. This was the rope. This was my foundation, and I grabbed it. And I was able to get back up because he kept my head above the water. He made all the provisions. He surrounded me with a community who loved me. I had no idea that the impact that I had with my community, the impact that my husband had, the impact that my daughter had with each of our communities. And these people all came to help me, but only because God was my foundation. I don't know what else to say.
No, that's beautiful. I didn't want to interrupt you. First of all, I just want to acknowledge you for your beautiful transparency. Because it hasn't been even a year, and you've been through a lot. And yeah, so grateful that you had that support community. We all have got to have community now more than ever. So, and to me, that's true wealth right there, is when you find the love and connection with a community. And I can relate. When I lost both my parents and my brother in a 2 years period of time, I was very numb, and it was so debilitating. And I had all these other layers that I didn't know about until I read the grief recovery handbook about, job loss, even moving across country, losing a friendship, a business partnership. I think I started losing count after I listed 20 things, and I was so numb that I turned to alcohol and working too much. So I'm so grateful that you've been on this healing path. And, how do you look at grief now? Have you changed your relationship, or any tips for our audience who might be grieving any losses that we've mentioned?
I look at grief now as empowering. It's my superpower anyway. I grabbed it as my superpower because if not for this, I wouldn't have created my healing method of Beauty After Ashes, Healing Gracefully, which is helping women like myself, or women who just need the extreme stress. They need help. I've been teaching how to create aromatherapy blends, and I help them with face reflexology plans. And I do this first by reading their face. They laugh. The first thing I say is, send me your picture, close up, no makeup. And that's a very, very intimate thing,
That's a vulnerable thing to do for most
very,
women.
very. And then I get it, and I look, and the lines, the dark spots, the blotches, the dark eyes, those tell me exactly what is going on internally. So I make the recommendation of how to create those essential oil blends or aromatherapy blends and the plants, so that they can heal internally and recover their beautiful skin.
That's amazing. I just want to acknowledge we have more people joining us, Grace. So hold that thought. If you're just joining us, please, you can start thinking about questions you might have for myself or Grace. If you're newer to my community, we go for about 30 minutes, and this is why I do it live, so that you can engage with questions with my amazing guests. And so you hit on something that's intriguing to me, and I'd like for you to explain, whether it's the science or whatever you want to call it behind this. Why does first aromatherapy, because you have two components, right? You said aromatherapy and face. Yes. Okay, so let's start with the aromatherapy. Why does that impact your emotional health, and then how does that impact your skin?
Okay, so I call aromatherapy beauty from the inside out, because when you apply it, when you smell it, take it orally, and I only recommend one brand. I will not talk about that here. I only recommend one brand because I know of its therapeutic capabilities and its purity. When you take it, it repairs the cells and the tissues internally. It balances the moods, and when all the components, your lymphatic system, your circulatory system, your your nervous system starts talking to the brain is instructed in, and we know how that's how the body works. The brain is told what to do, to tell the organs what to do. So, and then face reflexology is beauty from, did I say beauty from the outside in? Because when you stimulate that area, you wake up again, you wake up the circulatory systems, the lymphatic systems, and then it starts repairing cells and tissues. So I've combined both. It's science. There's no woo woo. There's no nothing about this. And this is something that I teach you how to do, because I teach to fish, not give you fish. I think we all should be responsible for our own health, wealth, and whatever it is that we need to do, with the guidance of people like Coach Lois, like myself, and other experts out there.
Yeah, I love it. It's really interesting because I know, and you know this, the skin is the largest organ in our body, and you're absolutely right. It reflects what's going on inside of us. I remember when I used to struggle with sugar addiction in my 20s, and I had adult acne as a result of that. And then when I went through massive loss and grief over a few years period, my skin started aging so fast. It was insane. And since I've been working on my inner quest, my inner journey, I now actually look younger than I did when I took my last professional headshots. So now I have an issue, Grace. I got to take new professional headshots. Apparently, I've been told. But you're reversing the aging process. I just want to remind people of that by a two-pronged approach: the inside, the emotional component, and the outside. I'd like for you to talk a little bit about, because I'm curious. I've bought skincare, I don't do a ton of makeup. Most people know I love the au naturel look, sometimes maybe to a fault, but that's me. But anyway, a lot of my friends who have used makeup for years, when I see them take it off, I'm like, whoa, they've aged just like it seemed like overnight. And so what are your thoughts about that? Like relying on skincare or makeup to kind of like hide our true beauty. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yes. First of all, I tell women, unless you can eat it, you shouldn't be putting it on you. Okay,
Wow.
because 70% of what we put on our bodies gets eaten by our skin, and it's then gets into our system, our cells and tissues. And that's the toxins that build up, that creates. Toxins are endocrine disruptors. Number one is fragrance. Perfume is in everything. Our clothes, our dish stuff, the laundry stuff, our makeup. And yes, I tell my clients all the time, you don't need makeup. You are hiding your beauty. I said, by the time I get done with you, you will be like me, not needing any makeup. I don't wear makeup. My routine is very simple. I make my own cleaning products, clean, and then I make my own blend for my skin. So this is it. This is my everyday.
You're beautiful, by the way. I just have to say, because I don't know, you don't need to tell me your age, because age is just simply a number. However, I know you're probably a little bit older than me, and you look amazing.
Yes, I'm 65. I turned 65 in May. And I tell everyone, you could be more beautiful if you do not put on the globs of makeup. And I'm sorry, my friends who are in the skincare and makeup stuff, I love you guys. But the truth be told, we don't need to hide our beauty. Yes, lashes, that's my thing. Brows, yes, color on, but the powder that hides the wrinkles, it doesn't hide it. It doesn't hide it.
Well, this is a question I wasn't expecting to ask, but I think you're the perfect guest. because I've been talking about this, on my anniversary, on how I was wearing a mask because I had so much grief. I had so much shame around binge drinking, and I was working too much. I just was so dead inside, Grace. And I see a lot of people in business, since most of my audience are businessmen and women. Um, do you have any like emotional health tips? Obviously, they can tap in and work with you and get that free skin analysis, guys. She has an amazing giveaway today, so please stick around for that. But with your journey with grief, knowing now that you've also had a transformation with your skin and using your own skills, and now you're helping women with that, people got to be ready to make that shift, right? They got to be willing to take off the mask and really truly go in and dig deep like you did, and that takes a lot. So do you have any advice for them to kind of like wake up or recognize, gosh, maybe yeah, I am wearing a mask. Maybe I do got to go on this inner journey because of what you and I have shared. That's what we both did, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we first thing first, get off that alcohol, or, the things that you think is going to comfort you, because you still wake up in the morning empty. And I use my aromatherapy. I diffuse, peppermint, citrus. I smell it a lot. I use my face, and this is the area where the brain is. I stroke this a lot. I stroke this a lot to give me comfort. And you'll see. At first you think it's silly and it's not doing anything, but close your eyes and think of the beautiful memories that you had
Hmm.
with your loved one. Or and then of course, I read my Bible, because that is what gives me the most comfort. I read my Bible, I pray, I talk to the Lord. I go to church a lot, because that is my church community family who pray for me also, just like my business community. Uh, there's a lot of things that you can do to really just make it intentional. Make the things that you're going to do intentional, because going off and thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, sit down and you think to yourself, what can I do to serve people? That is the number one. How can I use this to serve others, to make others feel better, to get others to stop thinking about themselves and start thinking about others? Because you know what? In my loss, there are other people who have lost more than I have, and who have nothing to hang on to, who have no spiritual foundation, who have no any foundation or community to hang on to. So those are the people. Reach out to them, hug them, say something to them, comfort them, because there are so many more people hurting and unable to cope. And I'm sorry I'm getting into all of that, and that's not I'm not giving you a sermon or anything. Just wanting to show you how you can survive this, and how you can help so many more people.
Well, and not only survive, right? Thrive
Thrive,
beyond
yes.
it. And I just want to acknowledge, you don't, first of all, please don't apologize again. I love you and it's all perfect. And what I want to bring home and what you just shared is it does come back to that divine connection, whatever that is for you, audience, and that connection with others. And so this is a great episode to be my first one after I just did my 2-day event, because I shared a lot of raw, real, vulnerable things that, even maybe 4 months ago, I would have been mortified to share, because in society, right, we've had this fake it till you make it, never let them see you sweat. And like in sports, if the coach, if you were like bleeding, they'd send you right back out, because it was like, just tough it up, buttercup. And And that was a lot of the guests that I had before, when I was going through my grief journey is when I launched my podcast, guys. And it was during that time that I just thought I got to interview successful people, who were making great money, who were experts on this, that, or the other thing. And it's really, for me now, a turnoff. So I love having you here, Grace. I love your name. It's just like all about grace, right? If we're graceful and gracious to ourselves and loving ourselves through some of the deepest, darkest nights of the soul moment with community to guide us as well. And
Yep.
again, the connection to the divine source, whatever you call it, that's what I want to talk more about, because so many people have been focused, in my opinion. I'd love to get your thoughts on this. Have been so focused on different priorities that I think have led us to this moment of bringing a lot of people to their knees, realizing, oh my gosh, I'm out of alignment. I feel alone. I feel lost. Do you have anything else to add to that?
One of the things that I really did is I sat down and thought to myself, how will I use this that I went through? Because I didn't go through this for nothing.
Yeah.
God does not have that kind of humor. First of all. Second of all, I really sought out how to get my talent out for sharing. And, we have people like Coach Lois who offer programs who can help us really bring that out of us. And I wasn't a online course creator until I learned how to become an online course creator. I wasn't a coach until I learned how to coach. And those are, you sit down and you figure out who are those people that are going to help me get that solidify my knowledge and put it to good use to help other people.
I love it. Yeah. And it's interesting you mentioned that, because just as a gentle reminder for those who are interested, after this podcast in 30 minutes when it's done, I will be teaching a money/wealth class. And a lot of times people focus on money, right? Because it's just part of our society, for better or for worse, our DNA. And I want to shift that, that focus of going inward and finding your worth and value and abundance. And when you find your worth and believe that you are here for a purpose and a mission and have that passion to serve, then guess what? You naturally make money in exchange, right? That sacred exchange, money for service. I call sales service, because a lot of people don't like the word sales. However, at the heart of it, right? You and we want to serve.
Yes.
And you found your kind of like, this phrase is overused. I'm going to use it. You made your mess your message, your mission. I don't think anything happens by accident either. You were able to transmute it. I also love the word alchemy. You were able to alchemize your pain and grief into a powerful story. I don't let just anyone on my podcast, by the way. So, I'm just saying.
I appreciate it.
You have a powerful mission, message, story. And now, yes, you can get paid for that. And you're coming from your heart, not your pocketbook. You're coming from a place of you surrendered and said, I'm here to serve, show me the way. And you figured it out. You co-created this with God, right? You found the opportunity in the pain. And that's what I want people to really hear from you today, is how you can, not go, victim. Maybe that's a little harsh of the word. I don't really like that word, but none of us are victims. We can see the victory through the pain and the suffering, and not stay there, so you go out and serve, just like you said, Grace, and find other people who maybe are struggling. And because you walked the path, before them, you can walk it with them, and then they'll gladly give you their money if it's meant to be.
Yes. Well, this is what I say. Pain is inevitable, but misery is optional. It is up to you what you make out of what you go through. And we will go through. When you love, when you commit, pain is inevitable.
Yeah, that's true. You can't avoid pain. It's part of loving others. And then when you quote unquote lose, although I think they're always with us, right?
Yes.
Any experience that's not death too, it might feel like a loss. However, if you can find the kernel, the nugget of wisdom and the message from that and transmute it into service, that's a beautiful thing. So I'm so grateful that we were able to have a deeper conversation. I do want you to give us some really juicy information about your skin analysis giveaway. Guys, she's asking you to text her for a free complimentary skin analysis. I put her number on the screen. I'll also share it in the show notes. So take it away, Grace. What do they get?
Okay, so in my skin analysis, you'll send me your photos, and then I will read your face, and then we will get on a Zoom call, and I will tell you what's going on, and I will tell you some recommendations and what to do and how to get rid of or minimize the wrinkles and the dark here, wrinkles everywhere, the dark spots, there's a lot. Our face is a roadmap, and like Coach Lois said, it is the biggest organ in our body, so it's the one that shows everything that's going on inside of us, and it has to manifest. So you have to deal with that if you want to get rid of the things that are on your skin.
Beautiful. And I would also say this is one quick question, if you can answer it quickly, is, it's not an overnight success story, right? To shift, I know for me, it wasn't. I'd say it probably took me without your help, just doing it on my own, it took me about 12 months to get back to looking and feeling younger emotionally, mentally, and physically. Do you have any kind of idea what, after the skin analysis, how you can help them beyond that?
Yes. So if you're not doing things that are really harsh to yourself, as Coach Lois had experienced in doing that, it took her a long time. You follow the things that I tell you to do, and you maintain at home, which is what all my clients do. You will see a difference. Well, people actually see a difference with 1 or 2 visits with me, with 1 or 2 sessions. And then your maintenance within 21 days, you can really see a huge change. And of course, as time goes by, you'll notice. But this depends on how harsh the things going on inside has dealt the blow to the face.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, there's no guaranteed results. All of the things, you guys gotta do the work. So what a great giveaway. I've never had anyone talk about skin on my show, and I'm so grateful to have you, Grace. So guys, text her at 714-746-7411 to get your skin analysis. Just some quick announcements, and then I have one more question for you, Grace, before we wrap it up. As you guys know, this week was a huge transformational week for me and this show. Grace is a great example of the depth of the spiritual nature that Healthy and Wealthy and Wise is going to birth forth from now on, and just really providing you guys inspiration, education, and empowerment. And as a result of that, I'm also relaunching my membership. So I do have a sale going on through Monday night. And if you want to, for less than $100 a month, be inside of my community, keyword there. Grace and I talked about that multiple times today. No one succeeds alone. You've got to have a loving, like-minded community, and it's a mindset and sales mastery community. So we're here for you, giving about $6,000 a month in coaching for less than $100 a month. Get that. Mindset classes, money mindset, self-sabotage, spiritual classes, meditation, breath work for your body to release somatically the stress that you're holding onto. That's definitely a part of the self-sabotage and holding you back from your best health, your best wealth, and your best wisdom. And of course, there's 4 hours of sales training and lead generation and all of my best courses on how to build those lead generation strategies with excellence and create that service that we were talking about earlier, that you can go and sell and be of service and create that abundance for yourself and others. So please take advantage of that. I'd love to have you be a part of my community as we grow to 1,000 members. Please tune in. And if you have any questions about that, you can go ahead and email me at lois@loiscoffee.com. All right. So Grace, as you know, my podcast is called Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. And I have a lot of depth and newfound meaning for that myself. When you hear the phrase healthy and wealthy and wise, what does it mean for you?
Well, first of all, piggybacking on what you said, it does take a village, folks. We need each other. We need each other to help each other, encourage each other. And you only achieve healthy, wealthy, if you are wise to align yourself with people who can encourage you, who can give you the tools that you need to be able to thrive, especially in this environment. So that's what I believe healthy and wealthy and wise is being wise to use the tools so you can be healthy and wealthy.
Beautiful. Love it. Thank you so much for being here and being vulnerable and being you. That's the most important part. And thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you felt connection today with this message, please hit the share button with your community. And look forward to seeing you guys back for our next episode. Our next Friday episode is going to be August 5th with my friend Brian Baird, who is really going for heart-centered service conversations in the business world. So I'm super excited to have him coming in on August 5th. And stay tuned. Until next time, guys, here's to your best health, your best wealth, and your best wisdom. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.
Well, all right. Thank you for attending another amazing Healthy and Wealthy and Wise show. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, download, leave a review or a rating. And also, if you felt like you could benefit from some help, maybe some magnetic mind support, maybe some lead generation and sales strategy, I would love to gift you a free month of my membership. Or go to bookacallwithlois.com. That's right, www.bookacallwithlois.com. And if you haven't had a one-time free strategy session with me, that's my gift to you today for attending all the way to the end. Here's to your best health, your best wealth, and your best wisdom.